All right. Welcome to Out of Continues episode 235. This is a weekly podcast posted up every Monday in which we talk about video games and related topics. It goes up on outofcontinues.com as an MP3. It also goes up a few days before that on youtube.com/outofcontinues as a video. A few days before that. Doesn't really go up on a regular schedule. And with me today, I have my brother Ali.
What's up?
How's it going?
No, it's doing good, doing good.
And also, special guest, I got the famous Kevin.
Yo, what's up?
How's it going, Kevin?
It's going well.
All right. So this week's episode segments will include our main topic, which will be the worst video game worlds to live in.
Dun dun dun.
Yep. After that, got some quick announcements, and then we have quite a few news topics to talk about, much more than last week. So let's get going. And before we begin, I just want to share real quick that all opinions expressed on the show are of our own and not of our employers, whether past, present, or future. So let's get going and talk about our main topic, the worst video game worlds to live in.
Dun dun dun.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's why I paused.
I figured.
All right. So the way how we're gonna do this, we're gonna list off about 5 worlds each, and we're gonna do the usual rotation where we each list off one and then rotate to the next person.
Okay.
Also, I put a couple of rules for us, for listeners, to let you guys know. The 2 rules I put in: no horror games allowed, and no survival games allowed, because that would make the list too easy.
Yeah.
That'd make the list way too easy. So no horror games, no survival games.
There was a game that I wanted to put on there, and I was like, I don't know, it was before the whole survival genre even existed, but I was like, man, I like sort of like how it feels is survival, so I decided not to include it. I'll mention it later.
All right. So I'll go first this time,
All right.
Mm-hmm.
and then we'll go Ali. No, sorry. Scrap that. Kevin goes first because it was his birthday a few days ago. Then me, then Ali.
Happy birthday.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. We'll go Kevin first, then me, then Ali. Kevin, go.
Okay. So, worst world to live in actually would have been real life like an hour ago. This is a story I have to tell. So, and then I'll go into my list. So I got home from work, and I was about to go on my daily bike ride. So I changed. I go grab my cycling shoes, and I start to put them on. And as soon as I put one of my cycling shoes on,
Oh
I
no.
see some movement. And my cycling shoes are black, so it's really hard to tell exactly what's happening on them. But I could start to see this moving stuff all over the top of my shoe.
No.
What is that? And as soon as I started to as soon as I fully put on my shoe, hundreds of ants just crawled out of my shoe up my leg.
Oh,
no.
It was like something out of a horror movie.
Did you light your leg on fire? That would have been the appropriate response.
Luckily, there was a hose that was attached outside, so I just ran to that, turned it on, and washed my leg off.
Oh,
Did they bite you
man.
or anything?
Yeah, I got a couple bites. I mean, it started itching a little bit, but it stopped itching.
Nightmare fuel. You're gonna be dreaming about that for the next
And,
week.
For the
Did
last,
you just hose out your shoes?
yeah,
Just was like, nah, man, no.
yeah,
Ugh.
it was so bad. I hosed out my shoes and I put dryer sheets in them, but it was something out of a nightmare because
Do you keep them in the garage or something like that?
yeah, but I'm not gonna do that
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah, I wouldn't know.
Yeah, I mean those were. I hope and yes, I could under some of the straps I could see that whatever anthills are made out of. starting to
Did you-
form.
Hey, you killed
Ugh.
Antony.
But yeah, so that, and I'm like still, even though I know there's no ants on me because I just took a shower, I can still feel like things crawling on my skin. It's really weird. So, anyways, I had to tell that story to
It's like-
someone.
You'll never feel
Psychological
clean
aspect
ever
to it.
again.
I know. I guess some food had something had dropped into the shoes, so I'm gonna have to make sure that's all cleaned out completely.
Stop using your shoes as like dishes, man.
I mean, that's my bowl. When else am I gonna use?
You just pour your Captain Crunch in there, right?
Every morning.
Crunchitizer, Captain.
All right, so what's
All right,
the first
so-
game on your list?
First game on my list is probably going to be Super Mario World. Because who in their right mind designs a world where you have to jump across like huge gaps?
These giants.
Like, that's not efficient for life at all. I just
These
think,
giant bottomless pits of doom. Yeah, that's
Exactly.
very
Like,
true. Yeah.
there's like just lava that's just there, and these moving platforms. Like, how are you supposed to get to work? You just try to make sure you don't fall in the lava every day?
On the particularly very hot day of summer, the sun just chases you around.
Exactly. It is.
There's like a video. It's either Dorkly or College Humor. I can't remember, but one of the two. They're basically the same thing.
Yeah, I think
But-
Berkeley is part of College Humor.
But like in this video, Bowser, he's with like the Koopas and the Goombas, and he's like, "Oh, I saved you from the tyranny of the wicked Princess Toadstool, you know, something like that. Oh, hail King Koopa!" And they're like, "Oh, please call me Bowser." And one of them was like, "Hey, if you're the good guy, then how come there's a big lava pit right here?" And he was like, "How the heck do I know? I just took over and saved you guys. I didn't build this here.
Oh
This
god.
was here when I got here."
Yeah. Not a good place to live. Anyway, you can just like you slip and you die.
Yep.
Yep.
Now
Something just
we owe
touches
money.
you, you die.
You go to a funeral. I'm gonna miss you, Mom.
All right, moving on.
Yep.
Mhm.
All right, first game on my list is God of War.
Mm.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was thinking
that like there's no good people there. It's like a world full of
Everyone sucks.
yeah, everyone's basically evil. Like the evil gods are evil, the good gods are even more evil.
The good gods are more evil than the evil gods.
Exactly. Like
Thanks, Obama.
and you don't know when someone's gonna like get like transformed into a demon or whatever. It's like Kratos is with his mother, and then like she just spontaneously bursts into a demon.
Yeah.
That was like in the Ghost of Sparta game.
Yeah. Yep.
Just
Yep.
blew up and turned into a demon. It's like, okay, this is a terrible world. Anything can happen. Anything bad can happen. Nothing
Yeah.
good can happen. And yeah, and on top of that, Kratos destroyed the entire world.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. He opens up Pandora's box and everything happens.
Like
Yeah.
by the end of God of War 3, he destroys the world. He kills
Mhm.
Zeus and everything's destroyed
Yep.
because he wanted revenge. You know, David Jaffe's original plan for that story. He only did the first game, but his original plan for the entire story is that by the end, Kratos is death.
Mhm.
Like his two what's it, the swords, the chain swords,
Mhm.
like those like basically become the death scythe.
Yeah.
And he's death. But it's close enough. I mean, he destroys the world.
Yeah.
Anyways, Ali.
My number one Actually, do you want number one at the end? Or are we not
We're not
just...
doing any
we're
order.
not joking?
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
I mainly went with God of War first because I figured you guys might say it, so I want to say it first.
I was thinking about
Here we
it,
go.
but I figured one of you guys would have it, so.
Lemmings. Just think about it. You got to do what someone else tells you, no matter what.
Oh, that's called work.
Womp womp.
Good job.
Womp
That's called marriage.
It's called a Shut up. You wouldn't know.
That's why you're all defensive. Shut up. You wouldn't know. No one tells me what to do. I'm an adult.
There you go. I'm an adult. Anyway, yeah. I mean, just think about it, Lemmings. It's self-explanatory.
All right, Kevin.
All right. So, imagine you're just driving one day. You wake up in the morning, you have to go grocery shopping.
And then you feel
Start-
like P. Diddy.
You just start driving. Exactly. You get
Okay.
up. It's a normal day. You go driving, and all of a sudden, this guy with a rocket launcher just comes up and destroys everything on the street. Like, kills everyone. Cops are coming in. He's just shooting them down. It would be a pretty bad world to live in, right? Grand Theft Auto.
Isn't that where we live in now?
Man.
Deep, man. We got real deep, real dark.
ISIS.
ISIS.
Mhm.
Okay, Grand Theft Auto. Okay, Staffa.
All right. Borderlands.
Damn it, that was my next one.
I mean, you got psychos everywhere. You
Yeah.
got people killing each other for no reason at all. You got vending machines with guns and ammunition because of the fact that that's the type of world that you're living in.
You got a doctor that's not a doctor.
Yup.
Right.
Like
You hide your belongings in toilets.
like you're
Well,
in a
there's storage
world.
around.
You're in a world where like the norm is insane. If you're not insane, then you're not normal.
Yep.
That's this world. Borderlands.
And worst
has
of
to
all,
be, what's that?
worst of all is
Yeah.
Claptrap.
He just wants
Yeah.
to help. He just wants to party.
Exactly. All the pizzas.
Nts.
No, don't do that.
I'm dancing. I'm dancing. He got better after the first game. The first game he was
Yeah.
annoying.
He was still well. In number 2, he was still annoying, but it's like at some point you just feel kind of pity on him, and you're just like, man, that's rough.
The birthday.
Yeah.
Are you talking about the birthday?
Everything,
Mission.
just him in general.
That birthday
Wait.
mission was sad.
It's like womp womp.
Like you invite everybody and then no one comes and it's just you and him.
Yeah, and you just like, it's like, give me a high five, and you just melee him, and he's like, yeah.
All right, Ali.
I got a lot of choices. No longer Borderlands, but I'm gonna say Devil May Cry.
Okay.
That's not survival. That's not horror.
Yeah, it's an action game.
It's an action game. So
Which Devil May Cry though?
2's too emo, so not 2. I would say
But that would still be a pretty horrible world to live in.
oh yeah.
Well, I mean,
They all
the
pretty.
reboot or the original?
Oh, the original, not the. I haven't played the reboot, so I don't know. I don't know about the reboot, but original was pretty. I mean, imagine just like these giant plumes of black smoke with these demons with giant scythes bursting out of it, being really pissed off at you while you're trying to eat a piece of pizza.
Yeah, imagine that you go to the grocery store and then the door while the sliding glass door is still open, but like there's this big transparent demon wall there now. And you can't leave the grocery store until
Oh
you.
no. And it plays like rock music. These like demons start busting out of the walls and coming out of the ground. Oh no. No. I should have played hooky today. I should have went to school.
There you go.
There you go. Devil May Cry.
All right.
All right, Kevin.
Next one on my list, I'm assuming either you probably have this on your list as well. Mass Effect, because it's almost the end of life as you know it. And
I thought about it. But then I was like, but people, they could just still be ignorant and go to clubs and whatever. And
right.
and
It was
be-
about the end, but at least I'm gonna go get drunk and dance
There you go.
and watch strippers or whatever, like digital.
There you
strippers.
go. The bluest of strippers.
Mm.
Yep.
Even their emotions. Womp womp. Anyway,
All right.
Mustafa.
Next on my list I have is Hotline Miami.
Oh.
I mean, like,
Hotline Bling?
no, not Hotline Bling. Hotline Miami. Like, everyone is drugged out, and
That's a cool place. I'm just kidding.
sign me up.
I mean, you had me drugged out.
People
Using-
wearing
using
animal
some of that-
masks and killing each other, and like it's probably one of the most violent worlds
Using
out
some of that
video
flakka.
games. Was that?
Using some of that flakka drug.
Yeah.
Do you know about flakka?
Yeah.
It's like
No.
one of those new synthetic drugs that make you hyper aggressive and stuff like that.
It's the new bath
Uh.
salts.
Yeah, it's like the new synthetic weed. Like synthetic weed isn't anything remotely like weed. It's like they're like amphetamine based stuff. So they all just like overload your brain with all sorts of different chemicals and they just make you go insane. And people like if the insanity doing crazy things don't kill you, because like your brain is so flooded with these like signals, like you will just straight up overheat yourself and die. Like there are stories about that. It's ridiculous.
Oh man.
Yeah, people get
Super
really aggressive. So anyway,
Yeah.
My turn,
Next.
right?
Yes.
Yep.
so I keep choosing like darker themed games, but I don't know.
Just say it. I know you want to say it.
Well,
Dark Souls.
Well,
Just say
I was gonna say Dark Souls, but Demon Souls is actually a darker story.
Mm.
But I was gonna say Twisted Metal.
Ah, that's a good one.
Calypso, what have you done? What
Just-
have you done?
What kind of world do you live in where like this competition, this tournament that you take place in results in you losing no matter what? Just like why? Just don't even do it.
Man, that's actually a really good choice.
Yeah.
Twisted Metal. I mean, like the world's in like one giant competitive war.
Yep.
People are dying left and right, and whoever wins,
Still loses.
yeah, the winner is like the biggest loser. They probably
the only,
wanna be, they
the
wanna
only
be
winning
dead.
move is not to play.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. My next one is Grim Fandango. Because if you live in that world, that means you're already dead and you're stuck in purgatory.
You're already dead.
You're fired,
Um,
Ali.
Anyway, what number are we on, by the way?
I think this is round 4.
Round
Yeah,
4.
round
Okay.
4.
Okay.
So moving on.
Yep.
Mhm.
All right. So next on my list is the world of Monday Night Combat. Like it is.
Leave
It
it
is
to
a.
Safa to talk about Monday Night Combat.
It is like the premise is that it's a future sport. You know, like the Running Man.
Yeah.
You know, just a future sport premise. All the competitors are clones that die.
Yep.
You know, so like the that's the story explanation as to why they die and come back, because they're all basically clones being launched into this competition, and the mascot is basically a lucky winner from the audience that they dress up as the mascot, and the mascot gets beat to death. Like that's a gameplay
Yep.
mechanic where you beat up the mascot and you get money for beating up the mascot.
But he has an invincibility suit on or something.
And
It doesn't look like he's dying because he's still dancing and doing the what do they call it, the caterpillar or worm or whatever they
the
call it.
worm, yeah, that's called bad game physics. And yeah, like they select people from the audience to sacrifice them for the robot overlords or whatever. Like they kill off certain sections of the audience because they're the poor section. Like it's just overall, it's like a terrible world to live in.
You know, one day my buddies and I were playing Rocket League and I started making up lore for Rocket League. And I was saying, because you know how like if you look closely at the crowd, they're like little spheres.
Hmm.
So I was saying what they did is they took someone from the audience and they paid him tribute as sacrifice and put him inside the ball, so they're just inside the ball while you're playing, and then when someone scores, they just blow up into bits.
There you go. There you go. The
That's
future
that's why
sports.
that's why one of their arenas is called the Utopia, because they must, and it looks like a coliseum because they create that sacrifice to keep the Utopia.
You know, like future sports. It's what's going to happen after Idiocracy happens. Anyways,
According to the director of Idiocracy has already happened.
Mike Judge.
Yeah.
Yep, I love that guy.
Yep.
Under the hill.
he needs to go
He's
back
like,
to
my
making
movie's
King of the Hill.
already true.
Yeah, I know, right? DEF CON.
Mm.
I don't know if any of you have played DEF CON.
Yep.
It is like a map-based game. It's just the globe, and you position
You nuke
yourself.
everything.
Yeah, well, yeah. Like you position all your. It's like an RTS game, but the timer counts down from DEF CON 5 to DEF CON 1, and no matter what, it'll always hit DEF CON 1, and people will always launch nukes. So you're dead anyway. You are already dead.
All right, move on.
Yep.
All right.
Kevin.
Last one on my list is any of the Warhammer games, Warhammer 40K, because in
Yeah.
the year 40,000 there is nothing but war. In the grimdark.
Kill the Space Marine.
Have you seen the trailer for Dawn of War 3?
No, I haven't. I did see it was announced.
I'm hoping it's good because Dawn of War 2 was disappointing. The first one was good, and I'm hoping that the third one resembles the first one. But the trailer was awesome. They're bringing in the Titans. So excited.
All right. Okay, my final pick. This has to be the worst video game world ever to live in. It's Sid Meier's Civilization.
I thought about putting that.
I mean, like, the thing is, like, you're living in this world that like grows and evolves, and you think that it's gonna lead to a better future, but you know that Gandhi is just living right around the corner.
Damn it,
So then you
Gandhi.
start living in fear.
Get it together.
You start living in. I mean, you know how Americans are afraid of the Islams right now.
Of the Islams?
Yes, they're so scared and terrified of the Islams.
Just be
Like,
scared of the Gandhi.
Multiply that by like 1 million, and that's like the world of Sid Meier's Civilization, because they're scared of the Gandhi.
The Gandhi. The
Yes.
Gandhi.
The
The
Gandhi.
one and only.
the guy synonymous with peace is the one who attacks first.
The Gandhi
Always.
he is like the source
So-
of evil in the world
so-
of Sid Meier's
Yeah.
civilization.
Civil rights activist formerly known as Mahatma Gandhi.
It's so funny because the release of the announcement of Civ 6 has a picture of Gandhi on it, just like smiling.
Yeah.
And, like, all the top comments everywhere on Reddit, Facebook, Twitter, everything was like, "You know, Gandhi's smiling because he's just planning to nuke you again."
You know
Swig it a swooty. He's coming for that booty with a nuke.
you know why Gandhi is like the nuke happy evil source of evil in Civ?
No.
Because in the original game, Gandhi's aggression level was like programmed to like 1 or something like that.
Uh-huh.
And when you get democracy, that's supposed to like lower all of the leaders' aggression to like it's supposed to give all the aggression to like -4. It's supposed to give them -4 aggression.
So
I
his
see.
would wrap around.
Yes, his would wrap around and make him super aggressive.
So they just ran with it.
Yeah, so after that first game, they're like, okay, we're gonna intentionally program him to be nuke happy.
So
That's
so their aggression is 9999.
Exactly. So yeah, there you go. That, my final answer for the worst world to live in would be Sid Meier's Civilization. All right, Ali.
I will use. I've got other ones listed, but I will think of one right now, and I'm gonna say.
Dark Souls.
No, I'm not gonna say that. I'm gonna say State of Emergency. Rockstar game on PS2 where everyone was just rioting and people were running around blasting each other with machine guns and rocket launcher and just like seriously, you turn a corner and there's like 100 people and you just shoot them with a rocket launcher and they're all dead. And it's just like, oh, time to rack up more points by killing more people. And it's just like, So, yep.
I
That
remember
would suck.
when that game came out and I was watching you play it. I was
Yeah.
really impressed by the number of people that were on the
Oh
screen.
yeah, it's still very impressive if you look at it. Just the amount, like it was massive amounts of people, and the frame rate. I feel like it was 60 frames per second too. It was really smooth.
But for some reason, I mean, I never played it, but for some reason, I every time I hear about State of Emergency, it seems like people always say bad things about it.
It got very repetitive, and it was at that time I didn't have a memory card either, so I couldn't save anything. I would get really far in the game, and then it's just like I gotta turn it off now. So, but yeah, I haven't been able to beat it.
All right. So, listeners, write into podcast@AfterContinues.com. Let us know what video game worlds do you think would be the worst to live in.
Do you want to do honorable mentions?
Sure.
Just quick list.
Yeah.
Okay.
You want to throw some
Kevin,
down?
you want to go first?
Sure. Wolfenstein, The New Order.
That was us.
Yeah.
That means Nazis won.
Yeah.
Nazis.
Doom, because
Yes, that would suck. Yes, that's an obvious
all the
one.
demons are on Earth. I guess like other games which are pretty obvious, like The Division, because that means some
Yeah.
post-pandemic world, and you can't even kill guys that are wearing T-shirts with one bullet.
that is the nightmare when your self-defense is
Yep.
your self-defense is offensive enough.
Right. Yeah.
Was that it for
Yeah.
you?
Yep.
I had Diablo.
Ooh, good.
I had Demon Souls. And I was gonna list Stalker, but I felt like that was too survival-ish,
Yeah.
and I was gonna say Division as well.
All right. SimCity,
You don't-
Crackdown,
Godzilla can attack at any moment.
Yeah.
There you go.
Uh,
Godzilla.
Sonic the Hedgehog,
I thought
Castle-
about putting that.
Castlevania,
Hmm.
Team Fortress 2, and Anti-Chamber.
Oh no. Oh, you know what game? Intelligent Cube, man. Intelligent Cube. You have
Oh,
these giant blocks rolling your way.
yep. Your IQ is 17.
you're dead. And then Blast Chamber, man, we're gonna go back to Blast Chamber sucked too. You're just in this giant.
Goes back to the whole future sport thing.
Yeah, you're in these giant cubes, and you have like you run out of. You just like blow up, run out of time, and you blow up. That's it.
One for PlayStation 1.
There you go. I made a mistake.
Oh God. I think we're the only podcast that will ever talk about one for PlayStation 1.
And that's what makes us the best.
Yep. All right. So listeners, let us know. Podcast@AfricanNews.com. What worlds and video games do you think would be the worst to live in? But you know what it would be a great world to live in if it was its own world?
I don't know. What is it, Staffa?
DreamHost.
DreamHost.
Is
Tell
that
me more.
where dreams are made?
It might as well be. Because they
dreams
offer
come true.
unlimited storage, unlimited bandwidth, user-friendly interface, and they're also optimized to use content managers such as WordPress and many more features. All that just for $8.95 a month, but it gets better. If you use the promo code OUTOFCONTINUES, that's one word, no spaces, it'll waive away the setup fee, get you a free domain registration. Boom.
Nice.
Ooh, excuse me. Just burped. Yeah. So, two quick announcements. iTunes, please leave iTunes reviews. We can use some more iTunes reviews. It's one of the single most helpful things that you can do for the podcast because basically the Apple podcast charts go by week basis as far as how many reviews that podcast has, and if a podcast doesn't have any reviews that week, it's like they have 0 reviews.
Man,
the last
Apple's world must be the worst to live in.
Yep, that is. Especially since Steve Jobs died, so
Yeah.
falling apart. But please leave a review. It's one of the single most helpful things you can do for the podcast. If you can't leave a review for whatever reason, you can also help us out by sharing the podcast on social media, on Facebook, Twitter, Reddit, whatever you want to use. Another announcement, we're on Google Music Play, so if you use Google Music Play, check us out. We're on there. What's that?
Buddy.
It's Play Music.
Oh, Google Play Music? All right. Google Play Music. I'll change that so I won't make that mistake in the future. All right, there we go. Check us out on Google Play Music. Type in Out of Continues. We're there. Subscribe to the feed. It's basically the same feed as iTunes, but if you don't like iTunes and you want to use Google Play Music, we're there. Leave a review on there too. That helps us out.
Yep.
So let's move on to the news. And let me make this a full screen thing. And share screen, present to everyone. All right. So you guys see my screen, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So before we start talking about the news, I just want to show you guys something real quick. All right. You see how this covers the whole screen, right?
Yep.
Now watch what happens if I click on this other monitor. You see that?
Your toolbar comes up?
Yeah, my taskbar comes up. Do you know how to fix that? Because that just started recently after one of the Windows updates.
That's been happening for me since Windows 7.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like it's only started happening last week after one of the Windows updates.
I think
it's always happened for me. I don't know.
Yeah, I've always had that. I don't know if it's maybe a setting that was off for you or is off for us. I don't know. 'Cause I've noticed that happening for a long time.
Yeah, when you defocus, it happens. So, I don't know.
I think it's if your taskbar, because if your taskbar is only set to one monitor, then if you click out of the full screen app, it kind of has to show your taskbar so you can access.
Well, I have two taskbar. I have a
Oh, you
taskbar
have it
on
on
each
both.
monitor.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Oh, okay.
Because
So
I have a taskbar only on my main monitor, my main display, but it still does that because like when I click out of the full screen thing, it's kind of like a hey, here's your main taskbar in case you need to
okay.
click on something.
Anyways, let's get back to the news. So last week, like right as I was recording the podcast, this trailer came out. Like the only thing I had to talk about was a leaked image
Hmm.
of Battlefield 1. And there's just some speculation that I had. Like as soon as I finished recording the podcast, I saw this trailer was everywhere. So I guess I'll actually talk about it now that it's official.
Yep.
So Battlefield 1, they release this trailer, not really a gameplay trailer, although in the very beginning, like right here, it says game engine footage.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
it's
I don't know if it just means this one split second or if the whole thing is game engine footage.
I think
well,
the whole thing's game engine footage, but they could use the game engine and then pre-render it. So
yeah, I was just about to say that. A lot of times what they'll do is they'll say that it's in-game engine like footage, but it's being pre-rendered so it can look better. Also, at an early stage, they can design specific levels to have fewer meshes that you're not going to see anyway, because they can direct where the camera's looking at,
Hmm.
and then increase the poly count and mesh quality and texture quality of the things that the camera is looking at, so they can make the levels look better, because they can direct exactly what's going to be seen. And then when they release it for the game and they put the whole level, all the meshes, all the textures into the level, then they have to reduce that quality so they can render everything.
Yeah, this trailer looks too good to be what it'll actually look like.
I will
well,
say though that DICE has a history of usually keeping this a similar quality to what they show at E3.
yeah, like their Battlefront looks like their Battlefront trailers. If you look at those, I mean, of course they have all this extra camera work, but like the actual game looks really. I mean, like the lighting and stuff. The only difference you'll see mainly is the image quality, stuff like anti-aliasing,
Yeah.
the texture filtering, that sort of thing. They might
Any
have
post
higher,
process
yeah,
effect is
higher end
usually
post
going to be
processing
higher.
effect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they can render those not in real time, but then when you're playing it, it's all being done in real time. So the post process effects will generally be lower quality, but like mesh quality and texture quality will usually be about the same. And that's what
So
I've noticed with Dice games generally is that their trailers most of the time look just like the games do.
Hmm.
So what's your guys' thoughts on this? Like the whole World War I theme, and like they got some horse riding in here, and trench warfare, and all sorts of stuff.
I'm somewhat excited for it. I mean, I've always been like a Battlefield fan over Call of Duty, and one thing that I'm going to be cautious with this game because one thing that unfortunately has been happening with the Battlefield games is that they've been becoming more like Call of Duty. I mean, they're retaining like their map sizes and their uh, objective, like their game modes, which I like, but a lot of the gameplay is making it less tactical and um,
Arcadey
more arcadey in a way. Yeah, I
and
guess that's
and
more. I guess that's a good.
solo
Yeah, a lot of
based.
people instead of sticking to their squads like they used to back in Bad Company 2 days or something, now people are just running off on their own, but focusing on their KDRs, not really working objectively to win the whatever the objective is. Or sorry, I meant working tactically to achieve the objective.
Yeah.
And that's been kind of becoming the norm for the Battlefield games over the last few. I mean, like even in Battlefield 4, they started adding things that just make it easier to, or actually Battlefield 3, they started making things that would just make it easier to track people to make it quote unquote balanced, I guess. Because like
Yeah.
they added the ability to like every sniper now will have a sun flare, even if you're indoors and there's no sun. You'll see exactly where the sniper is. In Battlefield 4, if you throw a grenade, there's a smoke trail that will lead it directly back to you. Um, and grenades don't do that. Like they don't have a smoke trail.
What do you mean?
And so it's like a lot of it is just making it more. I don't want to say. I guess casual is. I don't know if that's the right term, but it's making it more like Call of Duty, where they're not really focused on the tactics, but they're just kind of focused on let's just shoot people and run around.
Console peasants.
I'm not going to say that because I don't want to say that. But I mean, and then when they released Hardline or whatever it was called, like that was pretty much.
That was a bad game.
Yeah, like it just made it basically was Call of Duty, but instead of a military game, it was cops and robbers. But it was pretty much exactly Call of Duty.
Didn't I play some of the beta with you, Kevin?
Yeah.
The Hardline.
Yep. But
Yeah.
yeah, so I mean, I was not very happy with that, and I didn't buy it. I haven't even bought Battlefront, even though Battlefront looks good and it sounds good. It just is. I didn't really enjoy it when I played the beta. So what I'm gonna do is with Battlefield 1, I'm gonna just wait and see how it is before I consider purchasing it. The other big reason that I'm gonna wait is because I'm actually more excited for Overwatch right now, and if I have to pick one shooter to stick with, it's most likely going to be Overwatch. At least that's my choice right now. So I'll see how Battlefield is when it releases, and then decide later. But I do like that they're going to World War One because there really haven't been many World War One games, and it's understandable because it's all trench warfare, and it's not like as easy to. It's not fun.
I'm very skeptical on how they're gonna pull it off.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, from what they've shown in the trailer, it looks like they're going to be adding things that may not be historically accurate. I guess we'll see, but yeah, I mean, I'm excited to see what they do with it.
One thing I find amusing is how people are making this a Battlefield versus Call of Duty thing, and they're like, "Oh, EA listens to the fans. Call of Duty sucks." It's like, how did they listen to the fans? Who was asking for a World War One game?
It's all me, baby. All me.
Yeah, that's one. Two, like comparing the two trailers, like the Call of Duty Infinite Warfare versus this. Call of Duty Infinite Warfare looks more like a game, when compared to this, it looks more like a pre-rendered cutscene.
Well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
I like what I saw. I mean, it's the reveal trailer. They're not obviously going to be showing any of the story stuff or any of the gameplay. That will most likely come later.
Oh yeah, I understand that. I mean, like it's not a gameplay trailer, and like I after watching this, I was like, okay, that's interesting. But like, the people that are, oh man, this is amazing. Call of Duty sucks. It's like, really? Like,
well,
did we watch the same trailer?
At least based on just past experiences, DICE's trailers do usually end up looking like the end game.
Yeah, but also,
if
you want to bring up past experiences, Battlefield 4 was a complete mess for like the first year.
Yeah.
That was more of its netcode and server stuff, but like, still, I mean, that is what they show. Other than of course, other than image quality stuff, that's what you get. Like Battlefield 3 was like that. Battlefield Bad Company was that way.
Yeah.
It's just like every trailer they use the in-engine stuff, and they use the camera angles, and they render at a higher resolution, so you have better image quality and everything. But that's how it generally looks. So
yeah, and Frostbite engine is one of the, in my opinion, one of the best engines out there right now, and I've been really impressed with some of the things that they've been doing. My other big issue with Battlefield 3 and 4 is the destruction has become less dynamic and more scripted. Like they had this whole thing going around with Levolution, where the level itself something drastic would happen in the level halfway through the game, where like when
what had Levolution? Unreal Tournament 2004.
Yeah. But
Emphasis
that's
on the
one thing that also has been
2004.
upsetting me is just that the destruction has become less dynamic. I mean, obviously, like shooting the walls and stuff that stays the same, but the big things like I forgot what the map was called, but it's like you're like on islands, and then when one team is getting close to winning, a big
Parasol
tsunami
storm.
hits. Yeah, like a storm hits, and then a huge like, carrier will crash into the islands, and that
A
adds
battleship.
a battleship. Yeah, so it'll add some things to the dynamic, and it's cool the first couple times, like the China map, that whole tower just collapsing. That
Yep.
changes a lot of the dynamic there, or like just the
Mhm.
gameplay in that area. But once you experience that same thing happening over and over and over again, every time you play the same maps, it gets boring and old. And the like in Bad Company, although the buildings were still technically scripted, like they would take a certain amount of damage before they would fall. It wouldn't happen unless the players actually did it. Um, so I
Yeah.
mean, uh,
Apparently, this one's supposed to have like Bad Company level damage. Because
yeah,
Battlefield 4 still had a lot, like building damage and stuff, but it wasn't as destructible as it was in Bad Company too. So,
yeah,
um,
and
anyway,
that's kind of why I'm staying cautiously optimistic about Battlefield One.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
excited to see what they do with it, but I'm going to hold judgment until after
Can
it
we all
releases.
agree that Battlefield 1 is a terrible name?
it should have been Battlefield serifed capital I. That's what it should have been.
Yeah.
Because
I mean,
that
like
would
they're
have made the emphasis
they're
on
going
World
with the
War
whole
One.
Xbox One route.
Yeah.
Well, one thing is for sure, Beastie over here, his reaction is he's amazed.
Or
'Cause
angry. One of
or
the two.
his jaw's dropping. All right, let's move on.
He's either like his jaw is dropping in awe or he's just screaming at at the game.
So Battlefield 1 is going to be digital only on PC in North
on PC.
America.
Okay.
Good.
That makes sense.
I mean, yeah. Who still buys physical
PC
discs for
games.
PC unless you're buying a collector's edition?
I bought the physical of Titanfall.
Oh, doesn't it just come with a code inside?
Hold on, let me look at it.
Because I feel like that's what PC games would do nowadays. Is like you buy the physical thing and you open the box and there's no CD in there. It's just a code that you enter in on Steam or Origin or whatever.
I'm pretty. Metal Gear Solid 5 had a CD that had the Steam code.
My Titanfall does have a disc inside it.
Okay, because that's what happened. I bought what was it, Skyrim Collector's Edition, and when I got home, I was like, okay, it comes with the disc. I'll install it from there. I put the disc in and asked for the code, and then it immediately activated on Steam and started downloading the game on Steam. Like it just completely disregarded the disc.
Yeah, the same thing was happening when I installed Titanfall. I unplugged my computer from the Ethernet so that it would stop downloading and just install from the disc. Because it's like the game is like 60 some gigabytes.
Mm-hmm.
So, and the only reason why I bought the disc only because I had a store credit with Walmart. So that's the reason why I got the physical copy. But yeah, they say Battlefield 1 digital only on PC in North America. They'll offer discs in some international markets. So
I'm sure like that's fine. I mean, I'm pretty sure that 99.999% of North American PC gamers just already are downloading them digitally.
Yeah.
Plus, if people have like limited bandwidth, they probably aren't able to play this online anyways.
Yep.
Right. Exactly. It's an online focused game, so if you don't have the internet to download it, then you don't have the internet to play it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Move on.
Yep.
So, well, this looks like it's going to autoplay. Alright, stop that. So, EA explains why releasing Titanfall 2 and Battlefield 1 in 2016 isn't a bad idea. So, the last article, what did it say? October? That's Battlefield, yeah, October 1st. sorry, 21st. October 21st will be Battlefield, and Titanfall 2 will also be this year, um, like fourth quarter this year, or it says by the end of 2016. So they basically, in this article, they basically say that they're two different styles of games, and they don't think that it's going to hurt the sales of each other.
Yeah.
I
Where's the
think they're
quote?
similar enough. Like, I know it's kind of broad to just say, oh, they're shooters, but they are both shooters that are focused on multiplayer, and they pretty much accomplish a very similar goal.
They say shooters are a giant category in our industry, $4.5 billion. There's a very broad and diverse set of players who are looking to fulfill different gameplay motivations. Some people play very quick play, some people play more strategic, some people want both in different contexts. We feel we have very strong position to deliver the broader set of gameplay mechanics as it relates to the first-person shooter genre across two titles. I feel very confident that we are all positioned to do very well in that category this year. So, I mean, they're basically saying, like, hey, first-person shooters make billions of dollars. There's tons of people buying them, and there's people who like different types of first-person shooters. I mean, like, I think Titanfall is faster than Battlefield. Like you got the wall running,
Yeah.
you got the crazy parkour, you got the plus the Titans are not really comparable to a battle tank or a helicopter or a jet in Battlefield.
Yeah, I don't know. I understand like the differences. They're not comparable in terms of like being similar, but they still I don't know. I mean, like
But they scratch different itches though. That's the thing. Like they're both FPS games, but they scratch different itches.
right,
Cause like
but if they're like I don't know, like
It would be like saying that Call of Duty sales hurts Battlefield sales.
I don't know. Like I said, I understand what they're saying, but I don't agree with it. I like if I from a consumer standpoint, at least from the way I buy and play games, I do enjoy faster paced games and slower paced games. Like I do enjoy games like Unreal Tournament. And played that multiplayer. That's a super fast game. Whereas I also like to play Battlefield Bad Company 2, which was a slower paced tactical game. I even play Rainbow Six Siege. That's even slower than Battlefield. Um, but I would not want to spend $120 to get these games like back to back. I would most likely buy one of them and then wait for the other one to go down in price or on a sale or something. Because I just from my perspective, I understand like the differences between the two, but I still think that they are similar enough.
I get your point. I mean, I like your Rainbow Sixes, and I also like your crazy fast shooting games, but uh, you know, so there are people like us who have broader taste, but at the same time, like uh, probably the majority of people are only going to buy one game
Right, and
anyways.
that's the part that I was going to say next is that most likely people are going to just buy one or the other anyway. Um,
Because they
and
don't have enough money to buy every big game when on release.
yeah, yeah, I I think Titanfall and Battlefield are close enough to say that they're similar and that they scratch the same itch, or at least within the same. I don't know, same. It's they're similar in my opinion.
That's racist.
They have different play styles, but they're accomplishing something very similar. Because I mean, Battlefield is not like your Rainbow Six, where it's not that strategically tactical. Um, it's still, at least within the last couple of years, it still kind of has become a very somewhat, solo
Run and gunny.
ADR, run and gun type of game. And unless they're planning on changing that with Battlefield 1, I still personally feel like Titanfall and Battlefield are similar enough.
Ali,
What?
you remember the time when Hip Hop Gamer said that reviewers are racist, and that's why they were giving what's it called, 1886 low review scores.
I don't remember that. How is it
He
racist?
He said they're racist against the PlayStation.
Oh. What? What does this have to do
What's
with
that game
anything?
called again? The 1886 game?
The Order 1886.
Yeah, The Order. Yeah, he said that the reason why The Order 1886 is getting low review scores because reviewers are racist against PlayStation. And
Racist dog.
yes, he used the word racist.
Anyway.
Let's move on. Alright, let me stop this autoplay. Alright, EA says they would make games for the Nintendo NX. Reminder to the listeners, the Nintendo NX is the code name for Nintendo's next platform. They said that they would make games for it if it makes sense. So I'm going to take this and say that it is confirmed EA is not going to make any games for the Nintendo NX.
Because
Yeah,
it
it does
doesn't
not
make
make
sense.
It's interesting because the way that they worded that, EA would, meaning that they would, but they're not. Like, if circumstances were different. Because it doesn't even say, like, EA might consider as saying that they would have done it, but they're not going to. So, what about NX does not?
But basically, like, what was I about to say? Like, they say that they're in constant communication with them, and they're also like, oh, we're big fans of Nintendo's, and a lot of us started making games because of Nintendo's, we're in constant communication with them, and when they come to market with something, and if it makes sense for us, we will be there. So they are confirming they are not working on anything for NX right now.
Yep.
And and I doubt that they will make anything for the NX.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
NX, RIP in peace.
Yeah, it's like not even released yet, and one of the biggest.
You are already dead.
Yeah, one of the biggest publishers has already said, nah, pass.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, move on.
Come on,
more
Nintendo,
EA.
just become a third-party developer.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, look what happened to the Dreamcast that had like no EA support. And then look at what happened to the Wii U that had no EA support.
So basically, if you want to be successful, make sure EA supports you.
Yeah.
That's a lesson we can learn from this.
Mass Effect Andromeda. Release date delayed. BioWare confirms that it's going to be coming out early 2017. And yeah.
When did Mass Effect 3 release?
Mass Effect 3.
I can't remember. Because for some reason, Andromeda being released in 2017 still feels
2012.
early. Okay, maybe. Oh.
Really?
It didn't seem that long ago.
No, that makes sense.
5 years? Okay.
That makes sense because PS4 and Xbox One came out 2014.
Okay.
Yeah,
maybe
right.
These last 5 years or 4.5 years have just gone by super fast because it feels like Mass Effect 3 just came out recently and they're already releasing Andromeda.
It's because people still talk about how bad that ending was.
Yep.
It's still fresh on everyone's mind as to how bad that was.
Yeah.
And I am still excited to see more on Mass Effect Andromeda, despite me hating Mass Effect 3.
Oh yeah, no, I agree. I'm excited for Andromeda as well.
Right. I feel like maybe BioWare is like realizing that they done goofed. That Dragon Age game that came out, Inquisition, like it got good reviews, right?
Yeah, I got good reviews.
You didn't like it too much though, right?
It was significantly better than Dragon Age 2,
Hmm.
without a doubt. But it still did not have. It got repetitive very quickly.
Hmm.
They did a really good job with the environment design,
Hmm.
like a lot better than I would say even like the last two Mass Effect games. The environments were just a lot more alive. They did a lot more that made them feel like they were lived in, and there were people actually living there and doing things, and there's a lot more life.
Yeah.
But
I mean, like overall,
Mass
from what I'm hearing, it sounds like BioWare is realizing that they made mistakes. With
yeah,
like Dragon Age 2 and Mass Effect 3, and they realize that they've done goofed with those, and and despite me hating what was the mess of Mass Effect 3, I still consider myself a Mass Effect fan.
yep,
So I'm looking forward to seeing more of Andromeda during E3, and yeah.
yep. No matter how bad Mass Effect 3 was, they still have not even come close to dipping as low as Ubisoft has with Assassin's Creed. So
Oh, we'll get
that's
we'll
good
get more
news.
into that.
Oh
We'll get
yeah.
more into that. All right. So Avalanche Software, yeah, Avalanche Software, not to be confused with Avalanche Studios. I
Yeah,
was
I was
confused.
confused on it. Yeah, I didn't
So
know.
Avalanche Studios, they're the ones that made Just Cause. Avalanche Software are the ones that are working on Disney Infinity.
Hmm.
So they got shut down, and basically Disney Infinity is now Disneyfinity. It is
Disney
finite.
dead.
Yep, it is over. And I was actually surprised that they just shut it down. Like they are completely done with it. They don't want to do anything else with it. They laid off everybody, and I was pretty surprised because from the stuff I heard about Disney Infinity, it sounds like people really like that game.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it sounded like. Sounded like it was a good one of those games.
Like I have not heard anybody who actually played it say bad things about it. I the main thing that I that disallows me from trying the game out is the high entry point cost to play the game. Because you gotta if you're playing this on console, you gotta like buy all the figurines, or if you're playing on PC, what's it like? Let's look at this real quick. Or it's not loading. Oh, there we go. All right, Disney Infinity. So like you buy the game, and then you have all the DLC that's not showing up for some reason.
Hmm.
I don't know, but like you basically have to like buy all the DLC pack to go with it.
Yeah.
For some reason, it's not showing up on here. I don't know. Maybe they pulled it down.
Hmm.
I know that they have this free to play version, Play Without Limits, which is basically like
I feel
basically from
like
the
I should
reviews,
play
it
with
is
limits.
yeah, it is with limits.
You mean play without paying, but
Okay, so here's all the DLC packs.
does
To
all the
like
DLC come with the full paid version?
no, because all of it together is $168.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's nothing like Train Simulator though.
No,
Man,
it is
don't
not.
joke about that.
It's like I don't know how many thousands of dollars of DLC they have.
But yeah,
Several thousands too many.
Yeah.
I mean that's the main criticism I have with it is that like it just costs so much money if you want to play it,
Hmm.
and that's not something that everyone wants to do. Whether it's buying all the DLC for the PC version or buying the figurines for like the console version. But I know there are people who are like totally into that.
Yeah.
Mr. Matthew Powers, who was on the show a few weeks ago.
Mhm.
Loves those amiibos.
Yeah. Well, does he play the game? I think he just collects them.
He probably just collects them.
Yeah.
He doesn't play games. He hates video games.
Yep. Oh my goodness.
But
Okay.
anyways,
Train Simulator 2016. This is the latest version, not even like previous years. The latest version, $6,000 worth of DLC.
wow.
Well, it's like 5,600, but I'm rounding up.
Yeah. But anyways, like, hopefully those people from Avalanche Software get back on their feet soon, and hashtag hire Staffa. Let's move on. Civilization 6 revealed with Gandhi happy to blow you up. So they revealed that Civilization 6 coming out this year. Sid Meier's Civilization 6, and they say that there are going to be major changes. Basically, they describe it that where do they say it? So basically, they say that Civ 6 marks a drastic departure from how we think about city placement, growth, expansion, and invasion. It does so by unstacking cities. That is, instead of piling your palace, buildings, wonders, and garrison troops all in one hexagon tile, Civ 6 spreads your settlements into several districts on multiple tiles. This means each metropolis will be more specialized than those of the early franchise entries. By dividing cities into different districts, you'll make use of different terrains, more varied resources, and more overall land. So yeah, it sounds like is the nations are going to be more spread out
Yeah.
than what you can do in like the previous games.
Mhm.
Yeah,
And I
that'll be
think that's
exciting.
kind of cool that they're actually making significant changes rather than what was it like Civ Beyond
Beyond
Earth.
Earth was basically just a reskin Civ 5.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think from what I remember, they're bringing back the stacking of your army, so you can stack your units together. Maybe I misheard that or misread that, but
Don't see
oh, okay, just
anything
as
else about
weapons.
stacking army.
Someone else was mentioning that, and maybe he misread it, but
Yeah, that was kind of a broken feature from Civ 4. Like you can like put all your units on one tile and then they like all invade a city at the same time, which made the combat pretty broken.
yeah.
Mhm.
So I don't think they're gonna bring that back. But yeah, Civ 6, one more turn. So, Crash Bandicoot. The rights are still with Activision. That's confirmed by Sony.
Yep.
Yep.
Hmm.
So, what's to say? Motline? Motline?
What?
That's meme ta lam.
Oh, hold on. I can barely see that. Give me a second.
Oh, you can't see it.
Uh,
There's a picture posted by PlayStation Mid East with Crash Bandicoot on a wanted sign or something.
Matloob?
Matloob?
I don't know what that means.
Hmm.
That's not. I think it's. Is that wanted?
Oh, it says the English translation is most wanted person. Where are you, Crash? Or something
Yeah.
like
I
that.
mean, yeah. I mean, that means wanted. Matloob, wanted.
Oh, okay. All right. So yeah, basically, like people have been talking recently that Crash Bandicoot's probably back with Sony, and Sony is leaving hints in Uncharted 4. No, they're pretty much confirming no, he's still with Activision, and it just boggles my mind as to why Activision's still holding on and doing nothing with Crash Bandicoot. Like, do they really want that much money on a property that they aren't even using?
Mm-hmm.
It's madness. Sparta.
You
Move
mean
on.
this is Activision?
Yep. Move on.
Yep.
All right. So let me stop this from auto-playing. All right. Metal Gear creator Hideo Kojima says his new project is an action game and will appeal to Uncharted fans. It's an amazing game, he said. While not to say that it's open world, users who enjoy today's AAA games, The Division and Uncharted, etc., will be able to easily enjoy it. When it is announced, you might think, that's not outstanding, but you'll understand when you see it and play it.
Basically, all he
genre
said
is
was,
action.
if you play games, you will like my game.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm sorry, that's not very helpful description.
Yeah.
Yo, dog. I heard you
Yeah.
like games, so I
And
made a
also,
video
The
game.
Division and Uncharted, those are like two very different games.
Yeah.
How is he like? So
The third
like,
person?
what's that?
Third person?
Well, that's the only thing that's the same about them. Third person and they're shooting.
Yeah,
Mhm.
third-person shooter. That's what he's making.
So
Metal Gear.
Yeah, it's not like Metal Gear at all. It's like Metal Gear.
It's like Metal Gear when you're not sneaking around.
It's like Metal Gear, but not like Metal Gear.
Right. Good job, Kojima. You
Thank
know
you.
how to explain things well. Or build up hype at least. My game.
Go on.
Yep.
You will play it.
All right, let's talk about good friends of the show, Jeff Keighley.
Yeah, buddy.
So last year, his awards sound like everyone really liked it.
Yep.
His award show.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure he's going to continue that this year, but he's also in the works on doing a kids show that's similar to like Nickelodeon's Kids Choice Awards.
Mm-hmm.
So. He says it's going to be interactive, all digital show, and the viewers will vote on their favorite video games. So that's not gonna prevent the man children from voting on their favorite games. they're gonna participate anyways, even though it's a kids show.
Yep.
But I mean, despite that, I do think this is a good idea because while video games do have a big appeal on kids, not all video games are for kids.
Yeah.
So I think it's good to have like a separation between, hey, we're gonna have awards for video games and we're gonna have awards for video games that are just for kids, so that they can like root for their favorite games that
So you're
wouldn't
telling
have
me
shown up.
that all those 12-year-olds on Call of Duty are not supposed to be playing Call of Duty? What?
I don't believe you.
That's madness.
No, that's
Call-
Activision.
Yeah. God dang it. We're through the looking glass, people.
You guys have anything else you want to add to this?
Nope.
Not really.
All right. So, on Kevin's birthday, this beautiful.
This was not the birthday present I asked for at Ubisoft.
Never asked for this.
But it's the birthday present that you needed.
No. I do not need this at all.
So on Kevin's birthday, this beautiful video got released. The Assassin's Creed trailer world premiere
Well,
with Kanye West
yeah.
and
It's a teaser.
Superhero Landing.
It was a teaser, and I can safely say that I was not teased.
Had Superhero Landing, it had Kanye West, it had some GLaDOS type thing.
Yeah, the new Animus is weird. Instead of laying down in it, it like grabs you. It's like a big arm, robotic arm that grabs you and lifts you up. And I'm assuming what's supposed to happen is that as he's physically acting out things, it will act those out on his ancestor.
Yeah, that's probably gonna be like their explanation as to why he can do his ancestors' moves after.
Yeah. Well,
So
Freaking
it's
it's still dumb because like through the games, it's the bleeding effect. Like his mind is learning all this as he's experiencing
Yeah,
it.
but like if your mind knows how to do it, doesn't mean your body is capable of doing it. It's like
That's
it doesn't
true.
mean you have like the strength or agility or flexibility to do some of the stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
so it's like Pacific Rim where they get in they actually have to do the movements
Yeah.
to get things
Overall,
done.
I thought it was a pretty bad trailer.
Well, it didn't show anything first of all,
Well,
and it was probably not supposed to because it's a premiere like teaser type thing. But
it gave me a very generic action vibe, like Arrow.
yeah, that's
The
it. Almost
arrow.
felt like Arrow because like their hoods and like Green Arrow's hood, and yeah, like there.
I mean, it wasn't that. I mean, like the action just looked very generic.
Yeah. Well, one thing that I noticed also was that it there it's very obvious that they were tailoring this trailer to be shown to people who already know about Assassin's Creed, like who already understand what's happening, and because there was no explanation of anything. Like it was this lady telling this guy that he was thought to be dead because they erased his records, and he's going to now experience the memories of his ancestors, and then it was just a whole bunch of people doing parkour and flips,
Parkour.
and it's to Kanye. Yeah,
Yep.
parkour.
I know Michael Fassbender said that they're gonna both respect the source material and disrespect the source material at the same time.
That's dumb.
That's weird.
But like, I'm not gonna complain about like, oh, this and that aren't like the game. It's just overall, it just seemed very generic, and like the Kanye did not help it at all.
Mhm.
It detracted from the experience. But yeah,
Some
this
people
is
in the comments were like, "Oh my God, them picking Kanye was the best decision ever because it's not like the generic angelic singers over some guitar and harp or something like that."
this movie has bugs too. I do not bug soft.
There was a post on Reddit, in Unity when people's faces wouldn't render, they're like, "Meet Fassbender,"
Oh,
or like the Templar from
you just have like the eyes floating,
yeah,
eyes and the teeth and
Like-
everything.
exclusive screenshot from the movie.
Yeah, it's.
It was on the Assassin's Creed.
This is not gonna be the movie that brings light to video game based movies or whatever.
Nope.
This is not it. All right, let's move on.
Yep.
Eagle Vision confirmed to be. In the
So
movie.
this is not video game related, but I'm going to talk about it real quick anyways. Agent Carter, good friend of the show, Agent Carter.
Yep.
She, the spin-off of the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. show, or also spin-off of the Captain America movie. They had the 2 seasons of that show, Agent Carter. And they are canceling it. No longer. No more season 3. And also, they are not going to be doing the spin-off show to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which was going to be Marvel's Most Wanted. That was going to be starring Mockingbird and Hunter, which was the reason why they were written off the show.
Yeah.
Because they were going to do that spin-off show.
Well, that sucks.
Yeah. This is kind of disappointing. Like, the reason why they are
they
doing
gonna
this,
write them back into the show?
maybe. Like, at this point, the only Marvel show that's still on TV is Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Uh-huh.
Like, you got the Netflix stuff going on, doing its own thing. But, yeah, so it seems like the reason why they are canceling these shows because they just haven't been doing too well,
Hmm.
which kind of surprises me because, like, these shows have been actually pretty good, while the CW shows
Have been really bad.
have
Oh,
been
man.
really bad, and they are doing well enough to like keep going.
Yep.
Yeah.
What is wrong with people? What is
I
wrong
don't
with
know.
people?
I don't know, man.
With that said,
I think probably because people just don't know or care much about the extras, like, I mean, like Agent Carter is not something that people, is not a name that people recognize universally,
Yeah.
but like the Flash, that's something that people do recognize. So it's
Mhm.
more so about how popular each person or group is that's being portrayed in the show rather than how good the show itself is.
I should have called the show "Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego?" because that's who she looks like
Same thought that I had.
with that red hat.
Yeah, the red hat, the red coat.
Yep. But yeah, I mean that's disappointing. I mean, oh well. What you gonna do? All right. So let's wrap this up. Stop. Really got to wrap this up really quick. No listener feedback this week. Podcast@AfricanCheese.com. Leave us an email and we'll read it on the show. I want to give a shout out to Dominic from Rajiva Games. He did Scott in Space, which is an indie game on Steam. So we got a copyright claim on our gameplay video of Scott in Space, which was sent to us by Black Shell Media. And basically, yeah, so I contacted Black Shell, and they forwarded my message to Dominic. Dominic was like, oh, this is a mistake by the licensing company. So basically, he helped me get that copyright claim removed and also sent me a few codes for Scott in Space to do giveaways. So we did
nice.
some giveaways on Steam giveaways. So yeah. A shout out to Dominic. I'll be doing some streaming of Scott in Space on Twitch, just as a thank you for for the kind gesture of sending me the games, as well as helping getting the copyright removed. So that will be on twitch.tv/SayedSafa. Check that out. Don't have anything else to plug. If you enjoy what you've been hearing, you can support us by liking us on Facebook, leave an iTunes review, follow us on Twitter. Excuse me. You can contact us by email. That's podcast@outofcontinues.com. You can subscribe to the YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/outofcontinues. All those things I just mentioned, they're on the website, www.outofcontinues.com. And you can give me a tweet. I'm @SayedStafa. That's @SayedStafa. Ali is.
I'm @Phosphor112. That is PHOSPHOR112.
And Kevin is.
I am @KSTrehan, KSTREHAN.
And I'd like to thank my guest host for joining me today, Ali.
Yeah.
Kevin.
Thank you, Stafa.
And with that said, I'm your host, Stafa. We'll see you guys next week. Bam.